He is gone, and now the verdict begins. The death of former President Muhammadu Buhari has reignited national debate over his legacy. To some, he was a disciplined leader who stood for integrity. To others, he presided over one of Nigeria's most difficult economic eras. So, what do the numbers actually say? This is Buhari's legacy in numbers. Let's start with the economy. When Buhari took office in 2015, he promised to rebuild the Nigerian economy and fight corruption. But Nigeria's economy grew at an average of just 1.4% under his watch, the weakest since 1999. Compare that to Obasanjo's nearly 7% growth and Jonathan's over 6% growth. Twice, Nigeria entered recession, first in 2016 and then in 2020. Inflation under Buhari ballooned from 9% in 2015 to over 21% in 2022. Food prices, well, they went through the roof. The naira collapsed. It went from 197 naira to the dollar to 460 naira to the dollar officially, and it's even worse on the black market. Unemployment soared from 10.4% to 33.4%. By the time he left office, over 130 million Nigerians were living in multidimensional poverty. That's 63% of the population. Public debt exploded under the Buhari administration. It went from 12 trillion naira in 2015 to 77 trillion naira in 2023. And debt servicing gulped over 90% of national revenue. On the security front, despite heavy spending on defense, insecurity still persisted. Boko Haram, bandits, kidnappers remained active. More than 35,000 people were killed and millions displaced under the Buhari administration. Yes, Buhari recovered stolen funds, over $300 million in Abacha loot. He enforced the Treasury single account, saving trillions of naira, and over 600 plus convictions were secured by the EFCC. But critics argue that selective justice and opaque subsidy payments stained the anti-corruption war. Now, despite promises, power generation dipped. It went from 4,900 megawatts to just over 2,400 megawatts by 2023. The grid collapsed almost 100 times in the space of 8 years. And foreign investors, well, they pulled back. In the first quarter of 2021, Nigeria attracted just $78 million in foreign direct investment. This was the lowest in more than a decade. So, what will history say about Muhammadu Buhari? A man of discipline and modesty, no doubt. But the numbers tell a story of economic struggle, rising debt, shrinking jobs, and deepening poverty. In the end, Buhari's legacy remains a mirror, reflecting both the hopes he carried and the realities he left behind. This was Buhari's legacy in numbers.